Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan.
I'm Josh.
Frank.
And the game we're talking about today is Sonic the Hedgehog 2! So what were your first reactions when Sonic was going to have a sequel?
Sonic 2 was the first game I actually owned and played, so I had no idea there was one. Even
Really?
When I wasn't smart as a kid. I saw 2 and just like, that's weird.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past you to like think that, not because of you, but because of Street Fighter 2. Like who would have heard of Street Fighter before Street Fighter 2? Like nobody asked about Street Fighter 1. It was just like, oh hey, let's go play some Street Fighter 2, so I could get it, you know.
Well, at the time Sonic 2 came out, I didn't exactly own a Genesis, so I just read it in GamePro magazine. Like, did you guys read any magazines about Sonic 2?
No, the Nintendo magazine, like the Nintendo Power magazine, was the one that like I specifically read, and like other ones I might have picked them up sometimes, but usually I just heard about stuff via word of mouth.
Right. Okay. Cool.
The only thing I read the shit out of that was Sonic 2 related was the manual.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the manual.
That was
what I remember.
Sonic 2 made me like got a switch off of my artistic.
Yeah, it actually gave Tails his full name, Miles.
Miles. Yeah, I didn't know that until later on.
Well, they also say it at the beginning of the game too, but
I didn't read manuals. I looked at the bad guy list, and then I would like draw the bad guys and like make my own bad guys.
So
that kind of shit.
So what were some of your made-up Sonic bad guys?
Oh, I can't remember. It's been so long.
So no evil egg.
No.
There were probably like other kinds of like bugs and stuff like that, because that's the kind of stuff you normally see as like Sonic enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, hearing about Sonic 2 first time, like I just remember hearing it from a friend, like, oh hey, there's gonna be Sonic 2, there's gonna be this, there's gonna be that, and we just kind of talked about it. Like it wasn't really like something where it was just kind of like, you know, a big deal. It was just like, oh hey, this is happening. Oh neat, you know.
All right, cool. So yeah, like Sonic 2 was the game that made me want to get a Genesis back in 1993, because in 1993, you know, both of the Sonic cartoons were on, and I watch them and I'm like, you know what, I finally want to get a Genesis. And at Price Club, which Costco was actually called back then, I actually got to play Sonic 2 there, and I got pretty obsessed, and I wanted a Genesis that year.
Right, you're not supposed to talk about Price Club.
Yeah, that's true. I broke the first rule of Price
And the second
Club.
rule.
I guess that's why they called it.
Do not talk about Price Club.
I guess that's why they call it Costco now. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, like what was your first experience playing Sonic 2? Like, did you play it on the actual system or on one of the emulated compilations like years later? I
mean, I played it on an actual Genesis, but it was probably on a demo somewhere in a store, or it was at a friend's house. Like, because I was a teenager by the time I had actually gotten the Sega Genesis, and like before that point, I had like emulated it on PC, but before that, it was always just like if I was somewhere that happened to have a Genesis, then like, you know, that was something that was kind of like a must-do sort of thing. And it was probably just like with Sonic 1, it was probably that way with Sonic 2 as well.
Okay. How about you, Frank?
Do you remember the first time you ever walked?
Yes.
No, you don't. No one remembers the first time walking. That's basically for me for Sonic 2. I played the shit out of it, and I don't remember.
You just don't remember not ever playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it the same thing with like, you know, like Super Mario Brothers or Legend of Zelda or something. Like I don't remember not having those games and not playing them. Like they were just always there. So
to be a child once again.
Yeah, so what were your thoughts on Tails? You know, Sonic's new apprentice. Like, was he the Luigi to Mario, or?
Well, he couldn't die, so.
Yeah, he was invincible. Take that, Luigi.
Yeah.
My friends and I thought that Tails was a girl.
Really?
There's no particular reason why to think that. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, got Tails, and she blah 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 blah, and like that didn't really, like it was different. Like it was just kind of like, huh, that's different, but like it wasn't really like that big of a deal. You know, it wasn't all like, what, Tails is a girl? I don't want to play as Tails. You know, like it came down to just kind of like, oh, Tails can fly. That's pretty rad. But for some reason, we thought Tails was a girl for like a really long time.
Yeah, that's the first I've ever heard of people saying Tails was a girl.
So, I mean, outside of like, you know, some sort of like doujin manga or something.
Yeah, so what did you think of the bigger and improved level design of Sonic 2? Like, I personally thought the level design of Sonic 2 was way better than 1 because in pretty much every zone you can go fast. Like, it's not like in Sonic 1 where you had, you know, the Green Hill zone where you go fast, but then you have the slow as fuck marble zone. Like pretty much every zone in Sonic 2, you can go fast to an extent. I mean, there's some stages like, you know, the Metropolis zone where you have to do a bit of platforming. It's kind of funny when I would play the game at Costco, like kids in like the chemical plant zone, like there's this part where there's these rotating blocks like in the water.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, which was really hard to pass. Like kids would not be able to beat that for some reason. But when I got the game on Christmas in '93, I beat that shit.
Yeah, that was a milestone for me.
Yeah,
that was one of those parts. Like that was definitely difficult for me as a kid. But like now, like I think it had more to do with like the music.
Yeah.
You know, like when it's all like, oh, you're gonna drown soon, like that would make me freak out.
Oh yeah.
You know, but like now, like as an adult, like when I went back and played it, like in college and all that, it was just kind of like, okay, you know, I was able to chill out by that point, and I was able to get through it. And I had gotten through it a couple times as a kid, but not owning the game, like it really wasn't as big of a deal. But yeah, the overall level design for Sonic 2 was a huge improvement. Like Sonic 2 for me, out of like the original trilogy of Sonic games, is my favorite because like Sonic 1 is a little too limited and small, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles is not one of those games that I can just sit down and like get through it in like 40 minutes or so and then just go on with the rest of my day. Like Sonic 3 and Knuckles feels like this is what I'm doing today because I don't like speedrun it or anything. Yeah. Where like Sonic 2's all like, I'm gonna play some Sonic 2 before I go and do something else. And they did really well with the concept of, well, you can go through here, here, or here, and we're not going to make them, you know, obvious routes, but, you know, depending on how you want to do your thing, like, if you want to do more platforming, take this route, you know, if you want to do more speed stuff, do this route, and that really, you know, one of the best parts, I'm like a speed player, you know, not a speed runner, but I just like moving fast in general. And just for fun. And so, like, you know, the chemical plant.
Yeah, that's my favorite zone in the game.
That first little like go down and loop. And
those crazy
fast you almost go off the screen.
Yeah, that's like
that blew my little boy mind.
Yep,
like that
too.
Like, parts like that being well placed throughout the game, like pretty much made it one of those things where, you know, it made it forgivable later on when I'm trying to get inside like the airship and it's like tons of little platforming and stuff like that. It's hard to do, you know?
Oh yeah, like also I remember the Aquatic Ruin Zone, which is the third level. Like I thought that was going to be like really boring, like the Labyrinth Zone from the previous game. But yeah, if you stay above ground, you get to go fast. But if you go at the bottom with all the water, then it becomes a water level.
Yeah,
but it's not as terrible as, you know, the Labyrinth Zone from the first game.
Yeah.
No, nothing is as bad as the Labyrinth Zone in the first game.
Yeah.
So at least amongst like the original Sonic games, anyway. You know?
Oh yeah.
I liked how they went from having 3 acts in a stage to having just 2.
Yeah, I thought that helped the pacing a lot.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah, also
it threw me off a little bit, but
oh yeah, like I also love the Casino Night Zone.
That's kind of like a universal favorite.
Yeah, but that's
I don't know anybody
favorite.
who doesn't like that.
I think like ever since they had Casino Night, it's been like you had to have that on every single level.
Oh yeah,
casino level is like a requirement, like in Sonic games.
Yeah, like, you know, the Hilltop Zone with all the lava, that actually was pretty fun. Actually, what I like about that zone is like you get to like drill into the ground.
I hate the Hilltop Zone. It looks so. It reminds me of the Marble Zone.
Oh well,
it looks.
Well, there was a lot of fire in it.
Yeah,
a ton of fire.
I hate it so much.
I used to get hit by like the random arrows a lot, but you know, like now it's just kind of like it's just another thing to get through.
Wait, are you talking about the Aquatic Zone or Hilltop Zone? I'm
talking about the one where like the random arrows would get shot out at you, and the boss was like the 2 pillars.
Oh yeah,
that's
the Aquatic Zone.
Oh, okay.
That's the aquatic zone.
My bad. Hilltop Zone.
Hilltop Zone is robotics in the lava, and you have to hit it while it's in
that
the
one.
lava.
Yeah, no, like, usually I always played with the second person, and I just be like, I'm gonna stand over here, Tails, get him. You know, so like that didn't really bother me at all.
And yeah, so what do you think of the bonus stages? Like, I personally thought the bonus stages in this game were 1,000,000 times easier than Sonic 1.
True.
Yeah, very much. It was so easy to get the Chaos Emeralds in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy, but like, I never really went out of my way to do it anyway. Like, I was just kind of like, whatever, if I get them, like, that's cool. If not, whatever. And if I really, really wanted to be like Super Sonic that day, I knew the cheat.
Yeah, like, what was cool about this game is, like, even if you don't have any of the Chaos Emeralds, you can beat the game and you'll still get a good ending. Like, not like none of those, hey, try again, and Robotnik's like, you know, juggling the Chaos Emeralds. It's a good ending no matter how you beat it.
It's good, not great, but good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's not really that much of a difference between the two endings. But yeah, but the bonus stages themselves were pretty cool. Like, and they were also like the half pipe.
Yeah.
So so that whole concept of just I don't know, that just seemed like very 90s skater attitude, you know.
And it was 1,000,000 times more forgiving than Sonic 1's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And then it was just more fun in general. And plus also like the perspective changing to be more like 3D.
Yeah.
Like that was like amazing technological awesomeness at the time.
You know, it took me about, I think, 2 years to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds.
Oh, really?
If I would have known what they were for, because I was a kid back then and I was stupid, even though I saw the Super Sonic at the back of the game case, I saw the yellow Sonic, I was like, that's weird. And I never thought about it again.
Well, yeah,
it was only by accident when I was using Knuckles in Sonic 2. I accidentally got all 7, and then I jumped, I had 50 rings, and I went,
oh shit.
I dropped the controller, because I didn't know what was going on.
You went too fast.
I know. Matt! That's my brother. Matt! Get over here!
Yeah,
what? Didn't say anything, just pointed. What? What happened? What'd you do? I don't know!
Yeah, because, you know, I played this before Dragon Ball Z, so I didn't even know like what this was referencing to. I'm like, hey, Sonic turns gold because of the power of the emeralds. It's totally not a Super Saiyan reference.
Right, totally. Yeah, no, the Super Sonic in general, like I was introduced to Super Sonic way before I was introduced to Dragon Ball, like by a few years. And so that was, you know, I never really made that connection until later. But Super Sonic was amazingly fun to play as.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that he would go fast enough that he just kind of starts gliding off the ground.
I thought it was cool.
And like when he would stand on ledges, like instead of doing like the whoa sort of thing, like instead, like he would just like lean forward and cross his arms and be all like, gravity is stupid because I'm a teenager, you know. And
I thought you were gonna make a Batman reference on that one.
Maybe, but I mean I could, but he's a little too bright for Batman.
Justice.
But yeah, like he's just like standing out there like, what? Gravity, you're stupid, you know, like that's just, and I thought that was like really cool. And so, you know, there are a lot of times where I will, just because I feel like playing as Super Sonic, I will like pop in Sonic 2 and I'll do the cheat code from like the music menu and all that stuff for that, and I'll set up debug mode, and then just straight from the beginning, it's just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna give myself a ton of rings and Super Sonic time, you know, so. Yeah,
well, the problem I did have with Super Sonic is one time I was Super Sonic in the Mystic Cave Zone, and I actually I fell down this pit I couldn't get out of, and I was Super Sonic. I was like, oh shit.
You know what I mean, right?
No, I don't.
At the very, I think it was Act 2. I think it's Act 2.
Yeah, Act 2 in the
Mystic Cave.
Mystic Cave.
Just before the ending, you have to hit a lever, and this bridge will come down. Well, if you pass it, you'll fall, and it's not like a boom, I'm dead. It's a fall, and there's spikes. It's just super, you're just standing there just waiting to die.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're Knuckles, you think you'd be like...
Yeah.
Well, maybe I didn't remember that because, like I said, I would also have debug mode on. So I could just turn myself into a little box and just move myself up. And
you wrapped yourself.
Yeah, so...
Warp yourself.
I'm just kind of like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and just go to here, like, because I would do the same thing, which is like, you know what, I don't feel like playing this part of the game. I'm just gonna turn into a box and reappear right here. So.
And also one problem I had with Supersonic also was in the oil ocean zone. If you try to go too fast, you'll just fall in the oil, just like that. Yeah, because it doesn't
get out of it, but
yeah, it doesn't have like a lot of like really fast opportunities. It's a lot of platforming on the oil ocean.
I remember seeing a video of someone skipping a good portion of one of the oil ocean stages by actually just going down into the oil.
Oh yeah, you can. You have to like keep jumping, but not go down far enough until you'll die.
Oh yeah, I think I
actually get, you know.
And like you'll go far enough that like you'll trigger the end of the stage anyway.
Really?
Yeah, like even without running through the sign, like you're along the same like you're along the same thing. So like even though the sign's up here and you're down here, you're like and then you'll hear and you'll get through it anyway. It was I don't know if it's actually any faster or more fun. It's just kind of like one of those like here's a thing you can do sort of things.
Yeah, so like what do you guys like actually think of the Robotnik boss battles in this game? I think they were pretty much the same, like the same difficulty as Sonic 1's.
Yeah. I'd be inclined to agree about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're none of them really like stuck out to me as like being like amazingly difficult or super fun or not fun or anything like that. It was just kind of like, oh, here's this fat guy again. Yeah,
like I remember on the Death Egg stage when you had to fight Metal Sonic, like that was kind of hard at first, but once you get the pattern down, it's not too bad.
You know, fans sometimes refer to that one as Silver Sonic.
Silver Sonic?
Silver Mega Sonic.
Oh, and there's a term for him now?
That Sonic, I remember when I came across him the first time, I was a little older, and like I couldn't figure out how to beat him initially, because like it was just kind of like, jump on him. Oh wait, that's pointy. Run at him, like spin dash at him. Oh wait, that hurts you too for some reason. You know, and like, so I was just kind of like, how the hell, debug mode.
Just debug mode him.
Yeah, I didn't figure out how to beat him until I was actually playing as Knuckles and I accidentally spin dashed into him. So for 2 years, we would get to that level and then we didn't know what to do. So we just had to like play until we died or just quit.
Like that's...
So 2 years of having a game and not being able to beat it.
It's like, that's like the second to last boss and you just immediately go to the last boss after that. That one's like harder than the actual like, you know, like...
Yeah.
Mecha, Eggman, Robotnik, robot.
Yeah, I actually remember once you beat Metal Sonic, like you're actually chasing after Robotnik, but he's faster than you.
That's bullshit.
It's bullshit. And then he hops into his like big giant egg
you see how long his legs are. He's just got this amazing stride, is what it is.
Yeah. Even if you're using debug mode, you still can't catch him.
He had an adrenaline rush.
Yes.
Yeah, like
where will you be when the acid kicks in?
Or no, he was like running Naruto style with his hands in the back.
Oh yeah, he was. Well, he wasn't crouched down. He wasn't crouched down. He was too fat to crouch.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure if he would like try to touch his toes, he would roll forward and wouldn't stop.
I just remember his like circle body and just like his extremely long legs. Like,
Ryan, have you ever beaten Mecha Robotnik from behind him?
Yes, I have. It's tough, but it's possible.
I was like, I'm survived! Oh, good times.
Yeah, good times. Yeah, so what'd you guys actually think about the ending? Like, you know, it actually starts off kind of sad, thinking, oh no, Sonic died in the explosion. Then Tails like flies the plane to rescue him.
I thought that was a pretty good ending.
Yeah, I thought it was a good.
I didn't really imagine there being any sort of chance that Sonic did not make it through it or whatever. Like when I saw him like falling or flying, depending on which Sonic you were, that was really just kind of. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, of course. Like Tails coming in. It's like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I just like how they like play that kind of like inspirational but kind of sad music.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they actually show the black and white cutscenes with Tails, just rushing to get into the plane to rescue Sonic.
Oh yeah.
It gives you the feels, man.
I forgot about that. Like I feel like because I played Sonic 2 the most when I was in college. Me and some friends had gone to a pawn shop and bought a Genesis and Sonic 2 and hooked it up to a TV, and we just played Sonic 2 like every day. We just passed.
Is that the only game you bought?
I think we got a couple other games too, but Sonic 2 was like just the main one that we played. Like out of the ones that we had there, like that was the only one that was like really good, and we played it a bunch. And so like we would just pass it back and forth and just play the parts that we were good at. And
so did you just go debug mode, beat the game?
No. no. This one, there was actually parts that I was actually pretty good at by that point. Not like get supersonic good, but just like whatever. You know, and there was like parts that like other people were good at, and I just hand out the controller. And usually someone was also always playing as Tails, so the bosses were super easy. But yeah, so I feel like because I've played through it so many times that way, like I've forgotten more about Sonic 2 than you know what I thought I even knew about it in the first place.
Right.
Like, it's just kind of bringing it all back when you're all like, oh, well, the black and white cutscenes, you know.
Hey, when you were fighting the 2-pillar Robotnik boss, did you stay in the middle or did you go on top of the pillars?
What I would try to do, and I couldn't pull it off every time, was be on the pillar and then spin dash off and hit him.
Oh, really?
Then it'll bounce you back to the pillar.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I would get it to work, sometimes I couldn't. But if like it was the way I normally played it with another person and there was Sonic and Tails, then like it was just kind of like, okay, well, Sonic, whoever's playing as Sonic will just be over here, and whoever's playing as Tails will just do all the work. Especially once we really started to get the game down, because then it got to the point where whoever was playing as Sonic was just going so fast that Tails couldn't keep up. Whoever's playing as Tails, like you're just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna set the controller down until you get to the end of Act 2. You know.
That's basically how it was.
Yeah, because it was not so Tails was invincible.
Yeah. He's immortal.
Immortal Tails. Although what kind of sucks is if you get all the Chaos Emeralds as Tails, he just... he just turns invincible. He doesn't turn into Super Tails.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Disappointment. That's what that was.
They fixed that in 3, right?
No.
3 and Knuckles.
3 and Knuckles.
Oh, 3 and Knuckles, yeah, they fixed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what's cool about this game, you can beat this game with Sonic and Tails, Sonic alone or Tails alone. Like, the ending's just
I've done all 3. They're the same.
Yeah, the ending's not too different.
The ending was different?
A little bit. It just shows, you know, like the character who beats the game, you know, like does that jump on the plane.
Yeah, about it.
Yeah, no, I normally was just Sonic and Tails, like, together. Unless I was playing by myself, then I would, like, take Tails out, because sometimes AI Tails would do dumb shit. Like trail behind ever so slightly while like trying to get Chaos Emeralds and like run into like something.
Oh yeah,
you know,
a problem.
and it would count against me, and I'm just like, get the hell out of here.
You know, Sonic 2 was actually the first game I've actually beaten.
Oh yeah.
I remember the first time I beat it too. It said presented by Sega, but because of my stupid kid mind, I thought it said president by Sega, so I thought I was president of Sega for a day. No. Let me finish, mofo. Let me finish, alright?
President of
Sega.
I remember Sega was doing some kind of stupid promotion. I can't remember what it was, but the reward for it was to be president of Sega for a day. So, when I beat that game, that's where my mind went to, and then I thought I was president for Sega for a day, and I got scared because I didn't want that responsibility.
I guess that's the reason why Sega failed in the first place.
Shut up.
That's worse than the time you forgot what chili was called.
Yeah.
And Sonic eats chili dogs.
No, you weren't there when this happened. This is another story for another time.
Oh, anyway, so
yeah. So, did you guys ever? Well, like Josh had mentioned, he would play 2-player with his friend, which I would do with my cousin. Like, you know, he would be Tails and he would just, you know, attack Robotnik for me. But did you guys actually ever play the actual 2-player game?
You mean
no?
Yeah,
really.
The actual race one.
No, not really. I mean, I've done that like by myself. I've turned it on to see what it looks like.
Right, yeah.
But like, I think I've maybe raced someone like once or twice ever.
Yeah.
Like it was just not really that
crappy.
Yeah, like
I
me
didn't
and,
understand it.
yeah, like me and my cousin played it. We just liked playing the normal game, 2-player. Just
That
like
was definitely so much better.
Yeah, better. Oh yeah, so like you mentioned before the stage select, like it's kind of funny. I had this funny story like at Costco back when it was called Price Club. Like I was trying to. Oh yeah, I forgot. I broke the first 2 rules of Price Club. Anyways, I was playing the game like in '93, and then I was trying to show off the stage select trick, even though I didn't have a Genesis, so I was kind of putting the numbers in wrong, and then this dumbass kid behind me was like, "Pick something!" Now the kid's probably is like in his 30s, and I can imagine him like telling his wife and kid when they're going shopping, "Pick something!" and then I bet you his wife and kid are like, "Dad, how come you're like that?" "Well, because I remember back at Price Club, that's what Costco was called back then, son. Like, this stupid nerdy kid was playing Sonic 2. He was trying to choose these numbers, which was actually the stage select, and he just wouldn't pick anything. He was doing it completely wrong."
I just imagine like them actually being in a Costco and like he's just like there with his family, and like one of his family members is like looking at 2 different jars of peanut butter and he's pick something.
Yeah, he's probably doing that right now.
No, his first job was behind a register at McDonald's. See, what do you want? Just pick something.
Welcome to McDonald's. Pick something.
It's probably his first job. He's probably still working there today.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe he's managed to like move his way upwards.
The manager.
Yeah, like if he's like a corporate boss, he's like, "Okay, guys, like we need to do this for the corporate budget. Pick something."
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, final thoughts on Sonic 2. In my personal opinion, I think Sonic 2 is the best Sonic game out of all of them.
I think it is, out of the classic Sonic games, it is the best one, and probably my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's also like Sonic CD. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool one.
Sonic 2 was definitely the one that I played the most.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, because Sonic 2 is the one I got first. I beat it first, and I think it just has the best levels. The best music. Equal with Sonic 1. But I do like Sonic 2's tunes a bit better, and yeah, I think the gameplay is a lot better. Tales is a great addition, and I think Sonic 2 is just a solid game overall.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I agree.
Yeah. So anyways, you can get Sonic 2. I mean, actually, where can't you get Sonic 2?
Yeah.
I mean, you can just play it on your phone, basically.
Yeah, you can get Sonic 2 anywhere. So like right now, just pick up your Game Boy. It's probably Sonic 2 for that.
Yeah. So anyways, that wraps up this episode of Awesome Video Game Memories about Sonic 2. And if you have any memories about this game, make sure to leave those in the comments below. I'm Ryan.
I'm Josh.
Frank.
Hey, did you like what you see? Then come check us out at twitch.tv/BattleGeek+.
Hey, you guys should totally go support us over at patreon.com/BattleGeek+.